Oh, okay. And when you unmute, I think it's okay to unmute too.
Yes, I can unmute.
Can you see something called a Prezi here? Anyone with a Google Hangout? Do you see that?
I don't see a Prezi.
Okay, then that's probably why you're not seeing anything, Jamie. So let me get, I'm going backwards on it anyway. Okay. So I'm setting my Prezi up, and I'll go back and see what's going on with the screen sharing. All right. Okay, get out of this, and I got so many windows open here, it's pathetic. Okay, so I'm back in my Google Hangout, and I'm going to click that share screen again and see if there's something that I'm not doing right. Okay, Hangouts, entire screen. Oh, here it is. You should be able to see it now. Can you see the Google Hangouts Prezi?
Yes,
Excellent.
I can.
All right, we're ready to go, and then we'll switch back after I'm done this, and we'll kind of swap the screen maybe and see if you can find some of these things within your Google Hangouts. So I'm going to present now. All right, this is my invitation to a Hangout of your own, Google Hangouts. Okay, this is a little bit about what we're going to talk about. This is an overview of the topics. I'm going to talk about the basics of Google Hangout, a few of the many, many uses of Google Hangout, how to start a Hangout, how to join a Hangout, the different tools that are available for you to use within the Hangouts, and I'm going to show you some cool apps that you can hang out with. So I had this little picture. I thought that was very cute with the little old man hanging with my homies. So let's talk about Google Hangouts. Some of us have never heard of Google Hangouts. What is it exactly? It's a web-based tool created by Google for communicating through video. If you're familiar with Skype, it's kind of like Skype, but it's a little fancier. You do have to remember there are only 10 people that are allowed in one single Hangout at a time. It's kind of like a virtual room. So who can start a Hangout? Well, anybody can start a Hangout as long as they have a Gmail, or it's very easy to set up a free Gmail if you don't. Once you have an email, what you need to do is go and set up a Google Plus account. And it's very simple, and I believe that Barbara's already set up one, so I'm just going to kind of briefly go over this. When you do set up your Google Hangout, you create a Google profile. They suggest you add a profile picture, especially if you're a presenter. That way, the people that you're talking to, it'll make them feel more connected. So once you have it set up, you'll be prompted to find others you know that also have a Google+. It doesn't mean that they have to have a Google+ when they're invited. So this takes you through the process of setting it up if you're going step by step. You would click continue and finish filling out any information. There's a lot of information you can actually skip if you want to go straight to the Hangout. And once you get a Google+, you'll probably have a black bar like this, and you'll be clicking on Google+, or you can click on your name, John, here. Many, many, many uses for this Google Hangouts. It's not just for talking back and forth. So lots of things you can see that you can do. It's great for connections. Connections for the classroom itself to another classroom. For example, if you have a classroom, like Barbara has a classroom and I have a classroom, we can connect and we can collaborate and do lessons together. Not only can you connect to another classroom, and that's global classroom, by the way, you can connect experts in their fields with students. What's better than like talking to somebody who's an expert in their field, or someone who's on the space shuttle working out in space? Also, for those of you who, especially for distance learning teachers, it's great for virtual office hours. So a student can call you up when you need to support them, and you can offer a hangout instead of the student coming in. which is really helpful when you have students that live really far away or can't get to class, or maybe had children who are sick and were absent that day. The neatest thing you can do is you can record your Hangout sessions and discussions. So there's a way that you can automatically have YouTube record these. And this is great not only for students who were absent that day and might have missed a lesson, but for your own benefit. As far as reflection goes, it's nothing better than watching yourself and seeing what you did wrong and what you could do better. It's also good for somebody maybe who is hearing impaired. Maybe they have a device and they can listen to the discussions where they wouldn't get the most out of having a live discussion. You can collaborate as a team. So this is kind of like finding experts in your area. You can collaborate among your school. You can collaborate with other schools, other districts, other parts of the world. So it's really nice and it costs nothing and it's free. So what better way to become a better teacher? Also, I had to throw in here for my friend Monsi that it's great for ESL, especially when it comes to the recording, because they can listen to how they speak. They can converse with other students. They can record this and play it back and look at it. So it's great for assessment for ESL students too, because you can really take a chance to pay attention and be able to help somebody pronounce something a lot better. Everybody, I do a conversation group, and the whole point is to have them come in and converse in a safe environment where they don't feel threatened and nobody's going to give them an F if they get a word wrong. So something like this is great, and they would enjoy probably playing it back and seeing it. And it's a lot easier to see something after it's done, to recognize what you did wrong. So it has many, many more uses besides the ones that I put here. Okay, so anyone with a Google account, and this has to do with how to join and how to start up. So if you're starting a Hangout, usually anyone with a Google Plus account can do this. And I go through the instructions here on the, and I'll zoom into that if it will let me. Oops, wrong one. Let's just move this over. This is nice about this Prezi is I can move it over. So once you do sign in, you'll see the little speech bubble up here. So from your Google Plus homepage, Barbara, you're going to click the Hangouts button, and you've probably already seen this button. It's located on the right side of the screen. This is a sidebar that will open after you've participated. So usually you have to get some sort of history before you get a history displayed. So let me bring this out a little bit. So here, if you wanted to start your Hangout, this is where you would type each person's address. They might be in Google Plus already, and it would come up immediately with their picture if they had a picture. And this is why I mentioned earlier it's a good idea to have a picture. So as you type each of these, they'll usually complete them, autocomplete. If they're not in there, you can just type in their regular email, like @cnm.com or .ed, and that will get put in there too. So that's your list of invitees if you would like to start a Hangout, and it will send out an email to each of these people with the links to your Hangouts. Over here, you're going to see these little bars. It's a sidebar, and it tells you, depending on what kind of Google Hangouts you're going to do, because we have the kind that are just maybe a phone or a text Hangout. So this is a little sidebar with different tools that you can use. So we have a chat, which clicks on chat within, and I've seen you chat already, Barbara. So within the Hangout, you'll see this on your left side if you want to open up the chat box. Sharing the screen. Sometimes we have problems the very first time sharing the screen. It might have to do with a pop-up if it is a problem. But sharing the screen allows you to watch other people's screens. So it's great for students or tutoring. They can be at home and you can switch screens and you can watch exactly what they're doing and guide them along the way. Google Effects, we love to play with these. I think the first time that our group got on Google Hangout, people were playing with the effects. We were putting party hats on each other and things like that. So there are these little fun things that you can play with, little mustaches. You can change your background and make it look like you're at the beach having a margarita. It has little sounds like drum rolls and little like clapping of the hands. So they're really cool. YouTube. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was actually thinking it was potentially engaging, you know? Right. So I had added some new ones on mine and I was hoping to try it out. But I do believe that we need to have the webcams on to do this, if I believe correctly. I can do it on my screen to a picture, but it really works better if you have the webcam on. And I think that's what the ponies would work on too. So they're constantly adding these little things too to your to these little to the tools on the side. So if you get a chance, go and play with that. Have a friend, invite a friend to one of the Google Hangouts and get on a webcam. And I could spend probably an hour doing that alone. So let's see what's next. So that's within the Hangout. Joining the Hangout, say somebody invited you. We're not starting it. We're not the ones initiating it. So we're going to talk about what it's like to join a Hangout. And most of us know, if we're on here already, how it is to join a Hangout. You can join it from different places, and I hadn't known this before I started doing more research, but you can actually join it from your Gmail account. There's the ability to join it from your calendar and also your browser. When we're talking about the browser, we're talking about having the extension or the app that puts it on the desktop. So it's very nice. It'll ring when somebody does invite you. So if you're one of those people that have your computer on a lot, it's very nice to have it as a good reminder. So this actually I can send you. It's a very neat sheet. It's called a Google Hangouts cheat sheet. And I will send this to you, Barbara. It's a little card that has everything you need to know about kind of hanging out. I wish I would have found this when I first started. So it has these little things, start a chat or video call in Gmail. So it shows you the different things that would pop up if you wanted to start your Hangout or join a Hangout within Gmail, within the calendar, and within the browser there. It shows you how to insert images and videos and more. And it's all done in one page, so it's very nice. In fact, it would be a good idea if you were going to invite somebody who's never used the Google Hangouts before to send them this ahead of time, and then it would maybe you wouldn't have to go to Plan B like I did the first time I did this. There's also these basic tools that are available to the users in the Hangout, and I put a little picture there, and I thought when I started searching for a picture of the tools, I got the band tool, the group tool, so I had to put something funny in there. It's not the band silly. So these are the little things that you'll see in your Hangouts that are useful. If you mute your microphone, that's number 2, and it'll have the cross if you have muted it. You want to shut off your webcam. Maybe you have to get up and you don't want anybody to see you get up. You can shut off your webcam. That's number 3 there. The microphone level all the way on the left is number 1. You can adjust your bandwidth usage. I'm not sure I've played with this because if I'm on it, I figure I'm not going to touch anything that's working. Number 5 is different settings if you're having problems with maybe your microphone isn't working or the setup didn't work for your headphones. You could click on settings and it'll guide you, give you a little help. And the last one is if you're in a phone call, hang up, exit the Hangout. So this I didn't know. I was just always doing the X at the time, but now I know that this will exit my Hangouts. I'm always feeling bad like I'm not ready to exit. Okay, we have my little ponies thing here. Just before I started doing this presentation, I saw a demonstration of if you're in the chat box and you type in the /ponies thing, it'll have little ponies running across the screen. So if you see somebody falling asleep, you can put this in the chat box, and if you have the webcam, you'll see ponies going across the screen. So it is very cool. It's very funny. It's a wake-up call. So there's so many apps that they're adding, but I'm a slow starter, so I take it easy and just start with one or two. Some of the apps include, and these are the most popular, remote desktop, an app where people can help other people with their computers. And Jamie, I didn't know that, or we could have been helping Barbara that day. I will have to check that one out. Of course, we have the Google Drive, which is an app that allows you to access and edit your Google Drive files. Great for editing and collaborating with somebody else. I can see as they're typing, and one of my teammates, Faith, was doing this, and I didn't realize she could see that I was editing the proposal that I was doing at the time. And we were having problems checking a box, and we were going back and forth, and we could see what each other was doing, which is really cool. That will come in handy also if you want to do one of these little post-it note kind of programs on there, where your students can post notes, or they can like write something on the board and brainstorm. I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but this is Symphonical. It's a digital whiteboard with sticky notes, and that's exactly what I was talking about for to-dos, brainstorming, meetings, and plannings. SlideShare is very popular. Discuss and share presentations with your friends that you have in your Google Drive. And I was saying cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but this is Kaku for Hangouts. And I had that on my screen when I was sharing the screen from my Hangout. It's a user-friendly online drawing tool. Multiple users can edit and work on it at the same time. So maybe if we have some extra time at the end of the presentation, we can see if we can do it together. And that was very easy to download. It's in the Google Apps. Okay, so this one is a little bit off here, but this is, oh, let me go further. It's going the wrong place. I already shared this. So I guess that is it for now. So what I'd like to do is maybe have Barbara share her screen, and we can guide her through and show her the different, or I will share my screen first and show you what it looks like from my end, and I can show you the different ways to get into Google. So let me get out of this and see if I can switch over to my Google screen. No, I don't. I don't think that it's, you could use the same email. I could see having a separate thing as far as if you had a Facebook, but am I answering the question, or because it, yeah.
Okay, and also with those videos, does it automatically do that, or I have to set it up to? Mhm.
I, okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
I wanted to see first, Barbara, are you seeing where I have the Google Draw thing?
Yes, I'm looking at
The
where is
whiteboard.
it, Google Hangouts.
Right, and
Oh,
there's should be a bunch of colored wheels on the right side of my screen. Can you see I'm on the
let me
left
close
here?
that. Let me
I'm
close.
hovering over the dots here.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's get rid of that. I see it down here. That is odd. I don't think I've. Oh, this is what you're seeing here. All right, let me go ahead and click this share screen and get a different screen up here. Google Hangouts screen, I think is the one. Okay, so are you seeing? Okay, can you see the part where I'm hovering over the dots here?
Yes.
This is where you get your apps if you wanted to add any apps. So you would hover over these dots
All
and you
right.
would go add apps, and you can see these are the popular featured apps. We have Draw, we have, I checked out this Warlight one. It's a game to conquer the world, and you could play with as a team or with two players. And it's similar to, I think, Empires, but I have never been a video game person, so I don't know how to launch an attack and build armies. I was having a little bit of problem with it, but it's a very cool game, and there's just a lot of math and strategic stuff in there. Sporadical, mentally stimulating diversions with friends. Here's a basic Hangout toolbox that you can use. We have sound where we can create music. This is a game. I'm going to check this out soon. It's a multiplayer game in which the players guess where the panorama photos are taken. So this is great for a class. Here's another thing that will connect you to YouTube, and also allow you to watch YouTubes together as a group, so that students will have access to what you're seeing at the same time. So they have more than just this. The one I was just showing you was this Scoot and Doodle. Here's some more Google Effects. Uber Conference. I'm not familiar with that one, but get a free phone number that participants can call to access your Hangouts from their phone. This is a fantastic idea. Instead of giving your cell phone out, I've made the mistake of giving my cell phone out to students, and this way they can get a hold of you. If you have the little app on your desktop, it'll ring. So they have much more than this. I'm sorry, I'm messing it up. You can go in recent, and they have more in there. So you just need to click on one of these to add it. I'm going to X this out here because it's blinking all over the place. And Jamie, are you seeing the doodle thing? Is it blinking on your end? That's odd. I don't know why. So now that you see that, you see these little, I got little men here and things. I've got objects and symbols, and this actually, there's more than just this. You can have the class collaborate together and work on this. You can put a challenge card in. So you can ask a question. It's a good way to have a short assessment if somebody's understanding you. This is the game that I put in, and you see how they all are on the side of the screen here. So this is the Warlight game, and a lot of my students are into games. There's a tutorial, but this is a live game you can have online. Has my name in there. I wouldn't want to play with somebody online. Google Effects, can you see the right side of the screen?
Yes.
You see the hats? This is what you play with. So let me see if I can get out of this thing. Yes, I don't have a webcam on this laptop. And next time, Barbara, I'm going to try to, they checked me out an iPad at school, so I've been playing with it. I'm going to try to like present maybe from my iPad, and that would have a webcam on it. So I'll have to do a makeover before I get on that. But here you're going to find all your different effects and things. There's headwear. If I click that, backgrounds. So this is where we get the background of sitting at the beach, or make it look like we're in the background at a classroom. We can be in London if we want, something like that, or the temple. So we go here, sounds. These are very cool if you're entering. You hear that? That is great to give yourself a good introduction and enter. We could have a ding. We could have a great clap. What better way to tell a student he's doing a good job? So I love to play with these things. Sometimes I need to pay more attention to what I'm doing instead of playing with these facial hairs, eyewear, and our hats. We went over some of the tools, and oh, I think I need to stop that because it's not liking that. All right, I'm back. So all your tools are going to, all your apps are going to come up here. And I see we have some chat things here. So, okay, so would you like me to switch to my area where my Google Hangouts are and go over where to find the camera and the speech, or would you like to actually invite somebody to a Hangout from your end?
Whatever you would like to do. I would definitely like to try some of the different apps.
Okay.
I was wondering regarding the YouTube app. Sometimes when I've used YouTube, there seems to be um, when it's streaming,
Right.
it slows down. Now, with
I
using this app within Google, would I still have the streaming problem?
You might, if you were watching it from the YouTube site, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie, but the actual YouTube is recorded within the Google site, I believe. So you can click it and go into and it'll play from the YouTube site. But that's a problem I have too. It's a common problem, especially depending on what kind of computer I'm using at the time. So some That's good advice. And
All
right.
right.
And they are very big when we talk about YouTube videos and things like that. They take up a lot of memory and things. So if you did download from the YouTube site too, it might take quite a while to download, but at least it would like eliminate that problem. Yes, I imagine that has to do with a lot of tech things like the bandwidth and things like that, and how much memory is in your computer or RAM, and whether it can take it, your sound cards, your video cards, and things. So, Barbara, why don't we get into this? And have we figured out how to see your screen? Have you seen the little screen share item that's on the
I,
left?
I see it right now. Let me
Let's see
select
if
it.
it works. I know it hasn't been working. I'm stopping. And do I need to stop on this end? Okay,
Okay, can you see my screen?
let's see. It's a black. Is, are you showing your Hangout screen?
Okay.
Oh, I think it's coming up. Delt webinars presented. Barbara's. Is it
It
just
says that
a
I'm
black one?
presenting. Hmm.
Okay. So we're seeing the Google Hangout screen that you're on?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a way you can go down and I'm not sure if you still have your tab open for the actual Google that you entered in, the Google Plus?
The
So we
actual
can,
Hangout.
yeah, where your Gmail and your Google Plus is and
Oh, let me see. I
where
don't.
you found
Yes,
us.
I do have it. Yes.
Okay. Let's see if that clicks on. Because you notice you could pick from different things when we shared the screen.
Do you see
So
this?
I don't see that one. So maybe you need to go click the screen share again,
Uh,
and there should be a selection of windows, and one should be your desktop. It'll be different looking. It won't be the black screen.
okay, I'm trying. It says
No,
screen.
it's fine. So screen share and pick a different. Do you have more than one option there when it shows the
No,
screen? You just
it
have the
just says
one
screen
option.
share. Hmm.
Can you get to where you can add a tab, or click the tab to add a? You must just have us on Google
Yes.
Hangouts. So let's see if you could open a tab and get to your Google Plus.
All right.
Then you would have something to share, and
Okay.
we go back, and then we would share that. So there should be two screens. Then when you go back, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm at Google Plus.
Okay, and it's a different screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so as long as you kept the Google's Hangout open, go and switch to that, and then to do that share screen again, and it should have both your screens now in there, I think.
Oh, goodness. this is going to be what I have. Let me see if you can see.
Okay.
Um,
And if you can't, we'll go back to mine and I'll show you how to do that.
let's try it with yours. I'm having difficulty here. I'm not too sure, and
That's
I don't
okay.
want to lose you.
This new stuff, you know. So Jamie, if you want to switch it back, I'll show her the difference. Okay, so are you seeing my face?
Yes.
You see the green? We're clicking this, right? Now, I'm hoping you can see what I'm seeing as far as I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different screens up here when it asks to share screen.
No, I only see the one screen.
Okay, maybe this is just what I see. Okay, so I am going to click on, what is that? I'm not even sure what that is, but I'm going to share it. That's my desktop. Do you see a pictures
I see
library?
the desktop.
Okay, so that was one of the options I had. And I'm going to go back underneath down here where my Google Chrome window is. And I'm going to try to get back to the Hangout again. Okay, so that's one of them. Whoops, I'm clicking too many buttons here. All right, so Google Hangouts sharing that. I'm going to go back and click that again. And I'm going to show you something maybe that's online that I have. The Hangouts. I need to close some of these windows so I don't click something strange. But to do this, you have to have, can you go down, can you see when I go down to my toolbar, the Windows toolbar down at the bottom? I don't think you can see that.
I can't see it, no.
Okay, entire screen, Google's Hangouts. I'm going to click, did you notice if it had a label underneath your screens like entire screen or Google's Hangouts screen?
I think
You
it's
only have one option, so I guess it might have. Because usually it'll say a Google Hangouts screen and you'll share that. Oh, mine didn't work. It's giving me this over and over thing. And you'll know if it doesn't like it because it'll go into this crazy thing.
Well, I have a icon up at the top of my screen, or says Google plus Hangouts.
Right.
Okay.
So if you even minimized, I think, the whole screen, you would see the different windows that you would have open if you minimized your whole screen. I'm going to shut some windows here because I have way too many open. So we need to get you to somehow open another window while still keeping the Hangouts in there.
Okay. So would I be able to, because I have dual monitors.
Oh, I never thought of that. That might be a problem. Yes. Can you switch one off easily?
I would have to, let's see.
Or even if you could just minimize the Google Hangouts and go into your email again and
Okay.
click the link, because that would probably take you to the first screen that was there before you entered the Hangouts.
Okay.
How
So
you found us.
okay. I'm back in my Gmail.
Okay. So if you see both tabs now, we should be able to share both screens. So I'm going to stop screen sharing and see what we see, if we can see anything from you. You can have that one open like you would in a second monitor, and you could have the Google Hangout one open. So when you went to Google Hangout, you'd click the screen share, and then you would have two different things, one from your desktop and one from your Hangout.
Okay.
I'm going to cancel sharing. I'm going to go ahead and let Jamie switch you over. Yeah, I stopped presenting. And this is why I like having the time to do this, because it's one thing to sit up here and say how to do something, but you get home and you get into it and you're like, it doesn't work that way necessarily when you're there by yourself.
Okay, can you see my screen?
I see, I don't know if it was there before, I just see like an address for the Hangouts.
Okay, so I'm wondering, that says hide. Would I don't have to invite participants.
No, no, that's the screen I want to see though. So if you can keep that open while opening the Hangouts one
Okay,
and go
so,
back in there, and you should be able to have that screen inside the screen share.
okay, now I have it minimized.
Okay.
All right, and then now I'm back over at my Gmail. Am I looking to the left or to the right for the Hangouts?
Oh, you're in your Gmail. Um,
Hmm.
well, you're already in a Hangout, so it should be down at the bottom. Your icons down in the where your windows are. Is that open? Do you have the toolbar open down there with the Windows icon, and it has the Chrome icon? And if you kind of hover by the Chrome icon, it should show what windows you have open. So
Let's see.
like if you hover down by the icon, mine would show I only have one open. It's the Google's Hangout one.
I have three icons down at the
Good,
bottom.
good.
Hangouts,
Go,
contacts,
go
Hangouts,
to,
conversations,
uh-huh.
and phone calls.
Oh, you're in a different,
That's
but
the bottom left.
okay, go way, way down to your very bottom of your screen. This is part of your Windows screen. Do you see your Windows icon, and then maybe you have Internet Explorer and you have the Google Chrome?
Right. This
Hover
is
down there
okay.
and see which windows.
That's probably what I need to do. Well,
Yeah, because you're still in the Hangout, so you have both screens open. So we need to get back in the Hangout and leave the other one open like it is. We don't have any pop-up blockers blocking, do we?
no, no.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now I'm seeing the Delt
Okay.
Hangout on the right-hand side.
Okay. It won't work. As far as that part of the window goes,
Mhm.
that part is not the one that we need to be into.
Okay.
But you want to leave it open. So you need to switch back to our Google Hangout that we're doing right now. And the
All
easy
right.
way is to go down and see if it's one of the windows on the bottom, unless your toolbar hides.
I'm wondering if it's hiding something.
It's probably hiding. Where your Windows icon is when you first log in, your desktop's up, and you don't
Right.
have the. Mine is constantly across the bottom.
Well, what I'm seeing on the bottom of the Hangouts, I see Delt, then I see Terry, and then myself.
Okay, so you're back in your Hangout.
Yes.
Okay, that's what we see. So click the screen share again and see if there's any more options besides the Hangout screen that we're looking at.
Well, I'm single clicking, and
Uh-huh.
all I get is it says screen share, and that's it.
Oh, so we're having the same issue. Barbara, when I come up there to the NMEA conference, we're
Yes.
going to sit down at the computer and we're going to figure out what is wrong.
Okay. Sounds
It's
good.
probably something little, and I'll try to Google it even or look in the Hangouts because that's probably a common issue. And we're going to make sure you're able to share your screen. Jamie, do you have any suggestions? I had this very same problem, and I don't know what got it fixed over again. So we still have a couple minutes left, so maybe I got to figure out how to get back to my screen, and I can show her around the different things in mine. First, I got to figure out, okay, because I only have my Hangouts showing now, so
Okay, there you are. I see you, Terry.
you can see me, so I don't need to do anything. All right, so I'm going to go up here and see what it's showing. It's too bad it's not showing once you click on that share your screen thing, showing what I see here as far as the two screens I'm sharing. It's what it's doing is it's asking me, do I want to share the entire screen or just the Google's Hangout plus Google? So usually I'll click on, well, that one doesn't like me. I clicked on the Google's plus Hangouts one and it was too many windows, I think, for my computer. So I'm going to do entire screen. And that one's not working either, Jamie. I'm getting that little, Right. What is this up here? Show participants. You're not seeing it at all. Okay, so there's something wrong with my computer or something right now because I can't even get out of this to get to another tab, if you know what I mean. Jamie, are you able to share your screen and show how, where the icons are for the video hangouts and things like that, since we do have a couple minutes? Okay. And
Right.
I can still talk and point out things from, her screen's probably similar to mine. So I understand you said something about a Google Classroom.
Okay,
Yes.
I see your screen. Right. Okay, I had that screen and I closed that screen. Hmm. Hmm. All right. Okay. Okay.
And
All right.
And Barbara, if you would like, I have my last day of tutoring. I put my resignation in, so I have a lot more free time. If you ever want to invite me to just a little, that's the best way to do it, is maybe actually invite somebody. And if you want to chat for like 15 minutes or something, I'm free usually Monday through Thursday now between 12 and 4.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
you can always send me an invite.
Okay. I'm also going to try this via I have an iPad.
I
So
just
I'm
got,
going to
yeah,
try it from my iPad to my desktop.
right. That's I did find it doesn't have to download something for the presentation if I'm doing a Prezi. So that would be one of the problems. I don't know if it has some C&M security things that won't let me download it, but I'm interested in like learning and playing with that too. In fact, I just read an article about mobile use and how increased, how people are using the mobile phones and the iPads more than they're using laptops now.
Hmm.
So, do you have a Google Classroom, Barbara?
I'm set up for one. What I'm trying to do is set it up. My classes will start in October, and I'd like to set it up for my citizenship class.
Excellent, excellent. That's right. I remember when we were doing the Khan Academy. I just had come across something for citizenship, and if I can remember it later, I'll send it to you.
Oh, fantastic.
But it was pretty extensive, and I'm sure I'm going to remember it like in an hour and say it, and nobody will know what I'm talking about. But yes, so you're actually going to do this for an actual class then.
Yes.
That's excellent. If you'd like to share, if there's a way you can share it, because I'm trying to find different, I'm trying to look at models to compare because I have no idea exactly how. So I wanted to look at how other people do it, and I'll share what I have today with you too. It's just a
Sure.
work in progress, but so the different ways that you can get into the Google Hangouts. She was sharing the one screen, but like I said, I learned something new every day. There's also through your Gmail. Um, I personally would recommend the Google Apps Launcher or the extension because it does sit on your desktop and You don't have to go searching around for the little speech bubble then.
Okay.
It's right in your icon tray there. So did you have any questions? I noticed in the chat that I can send you a copy of the presentation, no problem. Did you want a copy of the Prezi too?
Um, yes, that would be helpful. I especially like the presentation because you had the steps to start the Google.
Right, and you're always looking for simple steps. Like I think
Right.
I spent extra time this time because I was trying to figure out a simple way. There, you can go through the Google site, and there's the tutorials, and they can vary in all kinds of lengths. So it's supposed to be a simple thing, and I wanted to keep it simple. So yes, that'd be no problem. In fact, I'll share the whole Prezi. You might see my other presentations in there from previous ones, but I can share the whole thing. And have you tried that site? It's free for
Yes,
educators.
I have now. Prezi is nice, but you really have to make sure that you have because it
The
limits
squares,
the amount of information that you can
right.
put in.
You
So
can't put a whole bunch of stuff in it. That's right.
yeah.
And I do have some issues with things being in the right frames, because it's hard to tell. They'll have the frame and they'll have the stuff that you entered into it, and if it's off whack, it's just doesn't zoom to what you need it to. And I still like the PowerPoint a lot
Well,
better.
one semester I had my citizenship students presenting, and one of my students presented using Prezi.
Oh,
I told her I
wow.
was very impressed
I
because
would
it's
have been
fairly
impressed.
new.
Yes, my student had presented a Prezi for, I had them do some things about exponent rules, and I thought I had found something brand new, and here he came in, and wow, it was very good. So, but so citizenship, have you gone to watch them actually to get sworn in?
Oh yes,
Isn't that exciting? I haven't been to an
very.
actual one, but I've had students that have done that, and I can imagine it's just so emotional and touching. And
Oh, it is. I always seem to cry because
oh,
it's just a wonderful feeling, and to see the excitement
right.
of the students.
And I feel the same way too when I start talking about. I make it a point to go to every graduation
Yes,
because it's just you see how big it is when you see the kids and the mothers and the fathers and the grandchildren, and it's that are clapping as mom comes across the stage. I always get like even choked up as I talk about it. But you could have a Google Hangout. You can start thinking about putting a Google Hangout anywhere, and it's a great way. I'm not a big texter, and to keep up with the emails is sometimes difficult. So a Google Hangout is like making a phone call. It's that
yes,
simple.
yes, it is. Well, I'm going to go ahead and practice and try some of these things out. I definitely want to try out the whiteboard with the
Okay,
post-its.
and and your students could probably the citizenship students they could do Hangouts themselves as long as it's no more than 10. And
Right.
go over some of the questions maybe that they ask before you become a citizen. I'm assuming most United States doesn't know the answers to half the questions that they have to know the answers to. They're very difficult. But
Yes.
thank you again for attending, Barbara, and I'm looking forward to meeting you in Las Cruces.
The same here, Terry. Thank you very, very much.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I look nothing like my picture. I'm a lot grayer. But we'll see you. You have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Thank you, Jamie.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Thanks, Jamie. I'll let you go because I know you probably need some.